We good to go?
Yeah, we're live here, brother.
All right, let's do it. So starting off with capsular cars, taking chin, trying to shift over to the right, and then down to that right armpit, back up tall. 3 down to the right, and 3 down to the left. And after that, we'll go spine. So similar kind of motion. I'm going to take this right elbow down to my left hip, squeeze out as much rotation and as much flexion as I can, but I don't want those hips to move. We'll go 3 each direction here. Awesome. And then we'll go arms out in front. We'll start by reaching our fists forward, shoulder blade drive apart. And then we'll squeeze, pinch our shoulder blades back behind us. 3 forward, 3 backward. After that, we'll shrug shoulders up to ears and then pull shoulder blades down to our hips. 3 up, 3 down. And then moving on to the shoulder, elbow comes out to shoulder height. We pin that shoulder blade back and down and try to lock it there. Rotate our knuckles down towards the floor. And then back up, try to put our forearm back behind our head. 3 up, 3 down, and then we'll switch arms. Switching to the other side. Make sure that shoulder blade stays in one spot. Excellent. Elbows or neck. So I'm going to go elbows just a little bit out in front of my body. Squeeze my bicep, try to get my palms all the way to my shoulders. Then I'll rotate palms away as far as I can get. Unwind, rotate palms back in, facing my shoulders as far as I can get. 3 each direction. Excellent. Moving on to wrist. So if normally we do a full circle, we're going to split it into chunks today. So I'm going to take free hand, wrap it around my forearm. We're going to go top half of the circle. So I'm trying to keep as much flexion of that wrist as I can as I trace inside and outside, or I move in and out. 3 each direction. We're going to do the same thing with the bottom half of the circle. So now I go into extension. 3 in, 3 out. And we'll go inside edge. So I'll start up in flexion, trace inside edge. So the pinky comes in towards the midline. As I extend the wrist, knuckles towards the floor. This one will go 3 up and 3 down. And then last one will go outside edge. So again, knuckles start up, we're in flexion, thumb towards the outside, trace the outside edge of that circle as we go into extension, knuckles down towards the floor. 3 up, 3 down, and we'll repeat all 4 of these on that opposite wrist. So start with knuckles up, trace the top half of the circle. Bottom half of the circle. inside edge. And outside edge. Excellent. And for hip, grab on something to hold on to. Knee comes up nice and high. Try to keep that thigh in one spot as I lift the foot up and in, and then swivel foot out and up. 3 in each direction, and then we'll switch legs. And from there, we'll take a seat on the floor. Right arm underneath right knee, right hand grabs left bicep, left hand comes up across the top of the knee. Squeeze that arm that's underneath your right knee. And then we'll go toes in. Hopefully our shin follows with a couple millimeters of internal rotation. And then toes to the outside. And again, keeping an eye on that shin, hopefully that it externally rotates with the toes. 3 in each direction here, and then we'll switch legs. And left arm underneath left knee, left hand grabs right bicep, right hand comes up across the top of the knee. And same thing, toes start inside, shift them outside, and hopefully our shin comes along for the ride. 3 in each direction. Great, and then we can take that right hand, put it a little bit lower on the shin. We're gonna pull toes up towards our shin, and we're gonna do the exact same thing we just did, but on this one, we don't want our shin to move. So I'm gonna use that right hand as feedback, and we're gonna trace top half of the circle just like we did on wrist. So toes start up, we pull them in, try to keep dorsiflexion as we pull across to the outside. 3 in, 3 out. Then after that, we'll point our toe, do the same thing. 3 in, 3 out, and plantar flexion. And switch it back to the other leg. Same thing, toes pulled up. 3 in, 3 out. On this one, we don't want our shin to move. Then we'll point our toe, 3 in, 3 out. Excellent. So for our mobility today, we're going to go side lying for shoulder internal rotation. So we'll go on our side. We can use a yoga block or a towel or a pillow. There's a pillow. My upper arm's on the ground. Elbows bent at about 90 degrees. And I'm just going to use my top hand to gently push along with gravity that bottom hand towards the floor. Should feel a little bit of a stretch across the top of the shoulder. We'll hold that position for about 2 minutes. All right, we're a minute in here with a minute to go. When we start, we're going to start by ramping up our effort. So we'll start at 0, work our way up to safest greatest. And where our intent is driving that bottom hand through the top hand, and the top hand's going to block. So we're trying to get the back of our hand to the floor up by our head, but our top hand's not going to let it move. We'll hold that effort for 10 seconds, and then we'll reverse direction. So we'll try to get that bottom hand, the palm of that bottom hand to the floor. We'll hold that for 10 seconds as well. It's important that we keep our elbow at 90 degrees here. A lot of times people start to straighten out their arm, especially on the second part when we're going palms to the floor. Then that upper arm stays on the ground the whole time. We keep our shoulders where they are. Nothing else moves as we go to change directions. Here we go. Breath in, pack it down and squeeze. Start to drive the bottom hand into the top hand. 20% effort, 40%, 60%, 80%. Safest, greatest effort, and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse directions, palm towards the floor. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Stay in position. We're going to go one more set here before we flip it over to the other side. Here we go. Set number 2. Breath in, pack it down. Start to drive bottom hand to the top hand blocks. 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%. Safest, greatest effort, and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse directions, palm towards the floor. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Go ahead, flip it over. Get that other arm underneath us. And top hand gently pushes that bottom hand towards the floor. Upper arm is on the ground. Got another 2-minute hold before 2 rounds of pails and rails here. One minute in, 1 minute to go. And here we go. Breath in, pack it down. Start to drive bottom hand into the top hand blocks 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%. Safest, greatest effort, and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse directions, palm towards the floor. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. 30 seconds, we'll hit the second set. And breath in, pack it down, drive bottom hand into the top hand blocks, 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%. Safest, greatest effort, and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse directions, palm towards the floor. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Excellent. So moving on, we've got a kneeling side plank paired up with side lying T-spine rotation. So I'm going to use a yoga block. You can use a towel, anything that you can stick between your knees and crush. We're going to go knees on the ground, so my feet are back behind me, elbows underneath my shoulder. And then we'll come up onto this elbow, drive our hips forward and towards the sky. We're going to hold on each side for 30 seconds. The harder I squeeze that block, the more I drive my down pinky into the floor, the more tension I create, the more I'm going to get out of the exercise. Here we go. Ready, set, up. Make sure top shoulder is stacked on top of that bottom shoulder, which is on top of that bottom elbow. Squeeze the block. Squeeze our glutes together, push our hips forward. Halfway. Three, 2, 1. Break. Flip it over to the other side. And ready, set, up. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Break. All right, and we can stay in that side lying position. And I'm just going to have both arms out in front, palms together, arms out straight. We are going to, keeping our knees on the ground, open up, try to get the back of my hand to the floor on the other side. Breath in, breath out, and then close it back up. We're going to go 10 on each side here. Take your time. Make sure we're breathing. Try to get as much range out of this as possible. And once we're through 10 there, go ahead and roll it over, switch sides. 10 here on the other side. Last two. Excellent. So we got 3 sets between those two. So we'll go back to our side plank. Crush towel or yoga block between your knees. Ready, set, up. Halfway. Two, one, break. Flip it over. And ready, set, up. Three, two, one, break. Back to 10 sideline T-spine rotations on each side. Again, keeping knees on the ground. Open up as much as we can. Big breath in, big breath out. Close it back up. 10 on each side. And switching to the other side. And last set here between these two. So going back to our kneeling side plank. Crush that block. And ready, set, up. Drive the hips forward. Keep good tension here. Five, four, three, two, one. Break. Flip it over. And ready, set, up. Halfway. Three, two, one, break. And last set, T-spine rotations. Rolling over to the left side. And excellent. So done with our pillar work and our correctives. Now we're going to get into our crawl series. So we've got 4 different crawls. We've got our crawl squat, or our squat crawl. We've got linear crawl, lateral crawl, and then an inchworm. So we've got 4 reps of each on the linear and lateral crawl. Forward back is 1, and then left and right is 1. So we'll go forward back, forward back, forward back, forward back, left right, left right, left right, left right. So 4 sets of 4 on each. Squat crawl, we're going to come back to a squat position every single time. And then inchworm, we're going to come back to a toe touch position every single time. So I'll demo each one here, just 1 rep, and then we'll get into it. So crawl squat, squatting down as far as we can get, leaning forward, hands come down. We'll walk it all the way out to a push-up position, nice and stiff like a board, straight line from ankle all the way up to our shoulder. Start to fold back up as we walk it back in, the heels flat, squat position, back out. So 4 reps there. Linear crawl, opposite arm, opposite leg. Don't want the hips to pop up as we're moving. Forward, backward being 1. Lateral crawl, again, opposite arm, opposite leg. Step, 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 back the other way. 1 rep, and then inchworm. More of a hinge, so my hips stay high. Again, walking it out to a push-up position, walking it back to a toe touch position. Those are our 4 exercises, 4 sets of 4 of each. So we'll start off with that crawl squat. Down slow, leaning forward, hands catch, walk it out to a push-up, walk it back in, bend the knees, fold up, heels flat on the ground. There's 1. Out, in, 2, out, in, 3, out, in, 4. From there, we'll go into a linear crawl. So forward, backward being 1. On all 4s, knees come up, step forward, step back, step back. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. We can go right into our lateral crawl. Stepping to the side, step, step, and step, step back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and down. And then we go up to inchworm. So back up tall, down to our toes, and walking out on our hands. Push up position, and back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, Excellent. There's set one down. We're gonna go 90-second rest here, and then we'll get into set two. Yeah, set one, getting my shoulders right. Good. So on the crawl squat and the inchworms, we're really thinking pull rib cage to our hips. Try to shorten that distance as much as we can, and don't let our hips wiggle side to side as we walk our way out and our way back up. Whereas with the crawl, we're more likely to have our hips bob up and down on the linear and lateral crawl. On the inchworm and the crawl squat, we don't want to go side to side. Try to stay stiff as a board. And here we go, set number two, crawl squat. So down into our squat, leaning forward, catch on our hands, walk it out, push up position, walk it back in, bend the knees, start to fold up, and heels touch, hands come up. There's one. Two. Three. Four. And into all fours. Knees come up. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Step forward and back. One. Two. Three. Four. Right into lateral, opposite arm, opposite leg. One. Two. Three. Four. And to our inchworm. So down to our toes, core locked in, walk it out to push up, and back in. One. Two. Three. Last one out and in. Four. Set two is down. 90 seconds, and we'll get into set three. Thirty seconds here. And here we go, set number 3. Crawl squat to start. Down, lean forward, hands catch, walking it out to push up. Back in, heel touch. There's 1. 2. 3. 4. On all 4s, knees come up, forward steps, and backward steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lateral steps, opposite arm, opposite leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to standing. Fingers down to our toes. Walking out for inchworm. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right, 3 down, 1 to go. Last set on deck. And here we go, last set, best set. Starting off with crawl squat. Down to our squat, leaning forward, hands catch, unfold, walk it out. Nice and sturdy in the out position, walk it back up. Hold the knees, heels touch, there's 1. 2, 3, 4. Down to all 4s. Knees come up. Forward, backward crawl. Opposite arm, opposite leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stepping to the side. Opposite arm, opposite leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. And finishing it off with our inchworm. Down to our toes. Hips stay high. Walk it out to push up. And back in. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Excellent. So we're going to finish off with our resting postures. Beginning with a toe sit. The toes tucked underneath. Sit hips back to heels. And we'll breathe in and out. Try to catch our breath here for a minute. And go ahead, point your toes, sit on your shoelaces. And break there. Go ahead, flip it over, take a seat. Go legs out wide. Straddle sit. Reaching elbows forward and down towards the floor. 1 minute in pancake. And break there. We'll finish off with bow. So we'll go face down, using one arm as a pillow. Other arm reaches up behind. Go ahead and grab our ankle. Full heel to our hip. Go ahead and switch legs. And break. All right, go ahead and finish off with 5 minutes of crocodile breathing on your own. Thanks for hopping in and joining us. See you guys again, hopefully next week.
Have a great day, Corbin.
You too.